I started learning chess like 2 days ago, paying a subscription to learn.
And it's what?
I'm paying a subscription on chess.com to learn.
Oh,
I like
so
it. I'm just scared when I'm gonna play my first game against the actual human being.
oh,
I feel as if I have to go through every single course like twice to try to maintain a high win percentage when I do start playing, or at
gotcha.
least
Yeah,
online.
yeah. I never. I mean, I know how to play chess, but I don't know how to play chess. If that makes sense. I know the moves. I know the way the board's structured. I don't know things like I don't know the rules around castling or whatever it is, but I know that it exists.
Uh,
But I don't know strategies at all.
so I know castling, and then I do need to do the recourse on the gambit, the Slavic defense, there's something called Sicily. There's a whole bunch of different uh,
Yeah,
opening strategies,
I'm familiar with
which
those a
is
little bit
why,
from. Oh,
yeah.
we must be off again from watching the Queens of Gambit on Netflix. It's a show about yeah. Anyways,
And then here's the conflict of interest. I bought a book on React. I
React.
feel like,
Bleh. No, just kidding.
dude,
React's fine.
I gotta start working again, man. And I feel like it could only improve. All right, since I'm learning chess, it could only improve my position, at least having a high level understanding of how it works, especially serving as an architect. All right,
Yeah,
so
yeah, that makes sense.
it's just I don't want to put in the time to learn chess and React. So I think I'm going to integrate the two.
There you go.
Write a chess application in React, which completely deviates from my Beach Mobile. Which today is the deadline for me to hear something, and I feel like if I haven't heard anything yet, then by default they passed on me without literally saying that they passed on me.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Either that or they just totally missed your application or something. I don't know.
I mean, it's in there. I check the status of it every other day. It says under review.
Hmm. Gotcha.
You know React?
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
I jumped into the view, um, the view uh, box or whatever that is. They're probably pretty similar. I just haven't spent any time learning React at all. I do like Vue though, for front end development though, and it's nice, especially Vue 3, and then um, yeah, I don't know, yeah, they have more of a composition API, which is really nice to use. So, um, but yeah, I haven't spent time learning React because Vue is the camp that I fell into. There's a lot of
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of I mean there's a lot of React and .NET, but I think there's actually a lot of Vue and .NET too. So um,
Really,
yeah,
all the recruiting firms they all want React.
yeah. I've run into plenty of jobs that use Vue and .NET. My current one, my last one, um, and then I see job postings for it occasionally. But React is pretty ubiquitous. So um, I don't. I think if you were trying to learn the top of the stack, React is probably it.
The question is, how long is React going to be on top for? Like, what was the lifespan of Angular? Because like 8 years ago, Angular was everything, right? It kind of dropped.
I don't know what's the market share at.
Translated, if I go ahead and invest my mornings and evenings trying to learn React, is it a high likelihood that 24 months from now there's going to be a new de facto framework?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so React started taking off. I mean, it's had just looking at some stats on this site that I'm seeing, and it seems to fit with what I was thinking. It looks like it might have peaked in this last year, um, but I don't see anything else going up at a high level other than Svelte, but that has a very small market share here, and I haven't even heard of Svelte yet. Svelte. Cybernetically enhanced web apps. Okay, sure. But yeah, I don't know. Angular is still out there. There's a lot of apps using it. Like I said, Vue is out there, and I use Vue. So
Why did Knockout drop off?
it's a lot more cumbersome. It was just like I think it was early in it doesn't do the component stuff the way these things do them very well. So and there's a lot more ceremony to it. It's a lot less. I don't know. It's just not. It's not these new frameworks. They're better in a lot of ways.
Okay.
I think it was a step on the way, kind of a deal.
Mm.
Um,
I was sick for like 8 days, so my energy level I'm still struggling with. I forced myself to work out yesterday, which is
mm-hmm.
weird because once I worked out after feeling depleted last night, I actually have more energy afterwards.
That's
The
probably all the.
physics doesn't line
It
up.
does.
I don't know how that works.
No, that's all
So
um, that's all hormones and stuff. Like exercise, like releases
I
what.
was gonna say I'm not on steroids.
But exercise
My dog died
releases.
last week, so that was
Oh,
terrible.
oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't
Uh,
know that.
yeah, my dog died, and I was on my deathbed being sick.
Oh, oh
So
man.
that
Did you
that
go?
took me like
Was your dog still in Cleveland,
she's
or is she
yeah,
in
she was in
Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Did you go up there and
Yeah,
get her?
no,
I'm
she got
sorry, man.
cremated immediately, and plus I was sick. So I mean, I'm gonna hop on a plane, visit an elderly lady that was caretaking for my dog, and get her sick
Yeah. Oh.
while my dog is already cremated.
Hmm.
So, uh, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I've lost
I
some
mean, it
dogs.
does
So.
suck.
Yeah. 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 We lost our dog a couple of years ago now, or maybe like a year and a half ago. So it
How
sucks.
long did it take you to grieve? 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 years?
Um. Yeah. Probably like 2-3 days. Um. I mean, she had a good long life, so it was, and she was towards the end. She wasn't doing very well, and it was good that she passed on because she just was. I think she might have been suffering. We were actually going to put her down the day she died, so because we were just like, no, she's just not in a good place. So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it took a day or two, and then but we've got the box where they cremated her or whatever, they give it to you, or at least the one that we go to gives it to you. So then we got her footprint, so we have her up on a shelf. And like
Mm.
6 months later or something, my son's like, I want to give Cassie a treat. So she went up and put a he put a bone uh, on her thing. So that's cute. But
Any plans for Memorial Weekend?
um, yeah, just maybe some, like, I think by brother-in-law's got like a camping thing that he goes to, and I guess we're invited, but we're not going. But we might head out there for like the day, or maybe I'll stay in this camper or something. But I'm gonna go see a movie with my nephew, and then I think my wife's got some friends who are doing some stuff, bonfire type thing. They want us to come over, so just general stuff like that. How about you?
No,
Writing
no
chess and
plans.
React?
Uh, yeah, I don't have any plans. I might go to this. I think it's called Seaquarium, but it's like a knockoff of SeaWorld. I think I might go there today. It's like a 20-minute drive.
Cool.
Should be boycotting those places, right?
Why? It's
Oh,
it's not Target or Bud Light.
oh, you don't think they have tranny whales?
Hmm.
Nah. The whales aren't meant to be in captivity,
Oh, I see. I see. Hmm.
right? They're not meant to be separated from their pod.
Yeah.
Otters or sea lions, maybe that's okay. Maybe they're closer to man's best friend. I don't know if they have a huge desire. Do otters go in? Yeah, they're in packs, but I don't know. A orca, man, it's just it's not right to throw it in the big fish tank.
Yeah, I get it. I saw Free Willy
Yeah,
back in the day. I haven't watched that movie for forever. Get it? Have my kids
I
watch it.
don't think anybody watched it more than once.
I think I watched it a few times as a kid. Free Willy. Then he goes at the end and puts his arm up, and the whale jumps over him.
Over the period.
Yeah, I'm surprised the whale just didn't attack the kid and eat him. They are the apex predator of the ocean. So
Have they? Is there any documented? Um, like I know they kill
yeah,
people, if but I don't think there's anything documented of them actually eating a human.
yeah. Well, they might kill. Yeah, there's no
I mean,
reliably
they've
verified
drowned
fatal attacks.
people,
Yeah.
they've pancaked people,
Hmm.
but I don't think they're like, you know what? I'm just going to feed off of you and just start dismembering uh, a SeaWorld
Yeah, it looks
employee.
like
I
there's
don't think
very
that
few
happened.
instances of orcas attacking humans in the wild. So
Not that I would jump into an ocean with a pot of orcas.
yeah, they might just be interested and come around and be like, "Hey,
I would not hop in the water with anything more weighing more than 100 pounds. That's not domesticated.
even the domesticated whale, or I suppose it's never like
It's-
you're talking like a giant dog or something."
If it weighs more than 100 pounds and it's not domesticated, I'm not messing with it. 100 pounds is a lot of weight for an animal. All right. And most
Yeah.
animals, they're designed for the wild. Like they have muscles and strength, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
you ever wish that just one day out the year, like we could run experiments that are not morally
Like the purge or
condoned?
something.
Well, for example, if I were a prison warden, I would like want to run experiments on releasing chimps into the yard at like a maximum security prison and see like how tough the Crips, Bloods, and cartel members are. So I think it would be hilarious to see like how gangs. dismantle or get dismantled when you let loose like 3 chimps and everybody goes crazy. I think it
Yeah,
works like
I'd
that.
assume that it would be like one on one. A chimp would destroy one of humans. Enough humans, if you could get them to work together, would probably kill a chimp. But not the other way around. Those chimps are strong, super strong. And then gorillas, man, you take a gorilla, they kill everyone. Those things are super strong.
I don't think they would. Like, there's no. I don't think there's any documented video or documentation on gorillas fighting any other animal. They don't fight chimps. They
Oh,
they they they
I
show
thought
their
they kill
they
chimps,
show their
don't they?
teeth. No, they don't. They don't. Your silverback, he intimidates and he shows his teeth and he may like rough another silverback up, but they don't. There's no documented killings of a gorilla and another animal. There's none. They're all muscle and teeth, but they don't. They're
Hmm.
not like lions. They don't kill for a living. They don't even kill to defend themselves. They just are very intimidating, and they pound their chests and they use intimidation. Chimps kill, but gorillas don't. Even though gorillas are significantly larger and more powerful.
Oh, though they encountered chimpanzees lethally killing gorillas, I guess, but and this was like 2021. But yeah, chimps are mean. Huh.
Yeah, just
And
how
then
you
there's
got prison
bonobos. Aren't bonobos kind of nice?
orgy animals,
Yeah,
orgy primates.
the bonobo. Hmm.
I think I want to come back as a bonobo and have a good time.
Maybe I should learn
Remind
React
me.
too. I know Vue. Well, I know Vue well enough, but maybe I should learn React too, and then I can
No,
go be a UI developer.
that would be helpful. We could have a 1 hour study group once a week in which it'll be all me asking questions and you answering everything. I was looking at some syntax maybe half an hour ago, and I don't understand what it's doing. Maybe you could figure it out. Hold up,
Yeah, sure. I'll
share
take a look.
screen.
I'll have to project my experience with Vue into it, but
I mean, to you, it's probably like duh, but I don't see I just don't see the relationship. So here's the code snippet.
mm-hmm. Is this like a JS?
I,
Yeah, it's a JSX
I
file. Okay.
I don't know what this means.
React
Is
use
it
state.
saying is it assigning the same value to two different variables on one line? Does
That's
it?
how I would read it. In terms of it does React use state return an array? I wonder if it's pattern matching out the first two.
Because then it's like set counter counter plus one, and my mind is like, why do we need counter or set counter? Why can't we just use counter and then counter plus equal? I don't know if JavaScript supports that syntax, but like I don't understand what set counter is for. I mean, I know the name implies, but I don't see why you just can't accomplish the same thing with just using one variable. And set counter doesn't. I mean, it reads like a function, but that doesn't mean it's a function. But here it reads like a function because it takes an argument. It takes an integer. But how do you? I don't understand how this React.useState42. how I don't understand how this is defined as a function.
Well, so counter is like I'm guessing here based on the way that view is set up is an observable class, right? So if you have
No, it's an
something
integer.
that's
Counter plus 1. It's an integer.
well, it's an observable integer probably or an observable number.
I mean, they literally
Well,
have the
unless they
operator
set up an
plus and
observable,
minus.
yeah. But but if it's an integer, it's not it can't be observable. Um, like the counter binding wouldn't work there.
I mean, here, this is the counter value right here. This 42, which is right here, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an integer. All right, I just wanted to run that past you because
Yeah. No. So
it doesn't.
so
My mind is unable to wrap around it.
so in view, what we might do is set up like view. You'd create a ref and call it counter, and then set the initial value of that ref to 42, and then that is an observable object. And then when you add to it, you do like ref dot value and then +1, and that'll mutate the state. Here the counter might be a getter integer, like a getter type thing, where it's an integer, but it only is capable of returning an integer. So in this case, when you add 1 to it there, you're not actually assigning back to it because you can't. You're actually just assigning 1 to, or adding 1 on to the value that is returned from the counter
That makes
getter.
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
I hope
it's
that's
probably a
true. My mind can
getter
wrap
setter
around
type
that.
thing.
So all this is getter and setter, right?
Yeah, because counter wouldn't be mutable by default, right? The actual like
It's
the
JavaScript. It would it
state.
be?
Well, it's not going to the counter variable is definitely not mutable because of the const.
Oh,
But
okay, okay, okay.
but the type there, if it's use state, it's probably doing a like a centralized state management type thing where it doesn't allow you to mutate except by using that set counter type thing.
Okay,
So
so I can wrap my head around that, and I'm just going to accept that as the truth,
okay.
because then maybe that makes the other one make sense. So if you read this syntax, this initialize
Hmm.
this whatever initialization syntax for a React.use state, and you just say that the first argument is a getter, the second argument is a setter in regards to like property names. Then we're saying get books value and set books value, and then set books value equals books dot concat, in which books is supposed to be a it's a string right here. That's where they initialize it.
Yeah.
All right, so they
So
say books dot concat text. I assume text is something that is the input.
yeah, input there. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then what happens is internally in that state bubble, because it's like a container, right? It's setting the text, the value of the books array internally, and then that will then project into that text, which then causes probably like an observable reaction to fire. Um, so think of text as being like a property um, in on a class, like a view model class, and then like when it gets assigned with that set, it triggers like a property changed event. Basically, I think is how it works. I'm projecting the way that I believe Vue works, but they don't do things exactly the same as this. It's interesting though. I haven't ever used the array syntax for that unless they return a an array of 2. Um,
Yeah, here's the book
oh,
I
it does.
bought.
Yeah, it is using an array. It's using array destructuring, so it is returning an array of those 2 items. Maybe it returns more. Um, But I suppose then you can name them whatever you want is the idea, which allows you to, which wouldn't be the case with like an object return. Yeah, okay. I get it.
Yeah, so the book that I bought is is there a way for me to reference the space that I'm on without having to? Is there a page number on here or anything? How do I don't want to lose this spot.
Do the headings have
Is this it right here? No. Whatever.
name?
I'll just throw it onto the clipboard. So the book that I'll okay. The book that I bought is I bought this book right here.
From 2016? Bah.
Well, I mean, he maintains an
Oh, he
updated
keeps it up to
version on
date.
his website. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I thought I would be able to click on it. But, I mean, this is the book here on my Kindle, and I had clicked on. I think I clicked on this link right here because I'm trying to go through all the exercises. But the table of contents is this right here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you might find that like the actual dealing with React is probably pretty nice, but then the thing that gets everyone is the ecosystem around it. Like node modules and building and packaging crap is just annoying.
React
I run into so
control
many problems with that.
components, React side effects, React fragments, reusable React component composition. Yeah, well, I got no clue what any of that stuff means within the context of React.
Yeah, like I said, I use Vue, so I get a little bit of that, but there you go, TypeScript and React. There you'll like that. Have you looked at TypeScript at all? Written any TypeScript?
I did a Hello World console app a couple weeks ago, but that's it. Got to sync away. Yeah, the question is, yeah. So the question is, how long is this going to take me to do the project? Like, I think this book has you build a project. Like, it would be nice if I could get all this done in like a week, but I'm scared it's going to take like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be like to start from scratch on it. You have any JavaScript experience at all?
No, I mean the short answer is no. I mean I know that if I could learn a whole bunch of other languages, I can learn JavaScript. I mean I could look at JavaScript and get the gist of it, with the exception of the question I asked you about that getter setter thingy that I didn't realize was a getter setter.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even sure how they. I mean, you can create getters
It makes sense to me,
in
so
JavaScript.
I'm just gonna accept that.
Yeah, I'm just curious on how that actually works. I'm gonna just try it. It might just be like a getter. I don't know. 1 second. I'm just gonna try it quick. So now it's bothering me. Console const pointer equals get unexpected number. What? There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how they do it where it actually. Oh, literally, it's like that. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, I suppose if you take a getter and then decompose it. Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm typing, but it's fair, I suppose. I'm just trying to think of how you actually implement that in JavaScript. Let's see here. Share screen.
Were you talking about that const declaration of those two values?
Yeah. So I'm like thinking like, do you do like if you return like constant, then you could do and then if you decompose from state, and then you can go derp. Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. So this is like a getter. So if you had const state equals,
You're using. I'm confused. You're using a browser as an editor.
oh, this is essentially a REPL, right? So this console
I see the Chrome icon on top of the.
Yeah, this is just your F12 tools. So like if you hit
Oh.
in Chrome, you hit F12 and then go to the console. It's a JavaScript REPL. It just has the current states. So if you had your getter, your getter, like this, and then you said like return self.value. Yeah, okay. And then you could have like something like this, like state dot. That work like that. Where you actually return the function in that case. I don't know if it actually returns the property is the thing. Oh, yeah, it's not defined. Yeah, I'm not sure how this decomposes it unless it does it via like. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to figure out how they actually do the deconstruction of this getter into an array. I suppose they could pull it out and then put it in an array and then pass it back, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this is actually helpful if you ever just want to tinker with some of the JavaScript. Just open up your browser F12 tab and just run through stuff like that.
Interesting.
Of course, you can't do that with TypeScript, rather.
So tired of learning
I know.
software development. I want it to be over with. I just want to learn chess. That's it. I don't care about anything else.
I want to learn accounting. I'm going to be an accountant, I think.
I want to be able to just play chess on the beach.
I just don't want to do modern software development with teams anymore. I think that's my problem. I just don't like it. I hate like agile frameworks and Jira, especially now. I hate Jira. Jira's the worst. And
How many years of experience do you have with Jira?
one too many.
Uh, Looking for an agile software developer. Like these are literally like on job descriptions.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of job descriptions lately. I'm just like, oh man,
What is an agile software developer?
someone
Someone
who
that
doesn't,
does
someone who doesn't
morning
complain.
stand-ups.
Yeah, someone who doesn't complain when the when um, the management structure puts in really complex Jira implementations and expects you to follow it. It's anti-agile. I don't know.
I don't think I've used Jira. I just use the Teams DevOps or DevOps
Yeah, I like
Microsoft
Azure
DevOps.
DevOps. I like it a lot better than. I mean,
Better
it's
than
still got the structure, but at least it's just a little bit cleaner and easier to use, in my opinion. I don't know, man. I was about ready I was actually really close to turning it in this week.
again.
Yeah, yeah. Just was upset about something. I'm like, God damn it. Then I got upset about another thing, and I'm just like, I don't want to go to work and be upset all day.
I thought
Like,
you wanted to be a product engineer or product owner or something like that. Product engineer.
yeah, maybe that's just like this inward expression of I actually want to work on products and things and build things. Um, I don't know. There's stuff about engineering that I like. Or I like writing code, but I mostly like modeling the domain and thinking about how to translate what and you create abstractions that produce like the business case for things, but or the use case or whatever. But actual like actually deploying and monitoring and all that kind of crap is just ugh. I actually don't mind UI development as much. There's a lot less of that because you just kind of deploy your app out and then make sure it works. Like you don't have to monitor shit because what are you going to monitor? JavaScript errors. That's about it. Most of your stuff is in like dealing with CSS and styling issues
When
and
you're deploying a new feature,
accessibility.
when you're deploying a new feature, you don't think there's value in monitoring uh, how it's used based on some KPIs.
Oh no, yeah, no. I'm talking if you're just a front end developer. That gets more into the product developer thing. If you're doing like looking at feature usage and following metrics around using people using your apps, that's more of a product thing. Using like a segment or amplitude and tracking people what they're actually doing through the application. I don't know. Of course, we're all going to get replaced by AI soon anyway. So why do I even bother? I need to get to a skill that's not.
I'm considering being a DBA now, thanks to ChatGPT. Just, I've always been intimidated with complex queries in SQL. Now it's like I feel totally comfortable now. So,
Sounds like a late night infomercial. SQL queries used to get me in a bunch. I never really liked to write SQL, but today with ChatGPT, I can be a SQL DBA.
you know
Oh,
what's weird? Is it weird that I'm more comfortable writing what's it called? Not linked to SQL, but writing queries in C sharp / entity framework versus writing queries in SQL Server's editor.
no,
Like my mind, it's not weird.
no. Well, are you using the actual link syntax or using the extension methods? I don't know. What do you use?
I'm using the link syntax of
From X select
join,
or
join.
dot join. Oh
Like
yeah,
I forgot the syntax already, but you have
group
whatever
join. Yeah, yeah.
whatever value name. Yeah, I can't even remember anymore.
I think there's less ceremony
It's been like
and it helps
10
you a
months
bit.
since I wrote Entity Framework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Join with or join something on, and then my other entity dot or my other DVO dot other widgets. I can't even remember the syntax anymore.
For join
It's join
from table
some
AA,
join
join.
on, and then blah blah blah
Well, you join table
equals
B on A dot
where
key
something
equals
something
B dot
equals.
key. Yeah. Where blah blah blah. Yeah. No. Yeah. And then there's left joins and right joins and outer joins and inner
Yeah, I
joins,
never
and
really. I just used join. I never understood the
you
right
just look at
join.
the Venn diagram for the join table, and you'll get it every time. You ever see that join Venn diagram?
No.
Here, 1 second.
Outer join, inner join, like all that stuff. Like I don't care about. I just want to
I
group
mean, there's
some columns
left
together.
join. Left join is used a lot, but
Is left join the
next
default?
to no, just your join, which is is an outer join, I believe. No, it's an inner join, right? Gosh, now I'm all like, what is it? It's an inner join.
Oh,
Yeah, inner join.
ChatGPT should address all that for me.
Here, I'll show you the diagram here.
Given this table with these columns and that table with these columns, write me a query that gives me this data with these columns.
Here,
Hopefully that
take
should
a
be
look at
all I
this.
need to type.
This Venn diagram is pretty popular out there. This pretty much does all the joins for you. You just look at this whenever you're like, huh? So this is your default. Here's your inner join. It basically take from A and B where they're together. So it's an intersect operation.
Okay.
So left join, which is this one, I would say is the next biggest popular one. Because sometimes you're just trying to figure out which, like if you have an optional child class or a optional related class, you may or may not have that association. So you'd want to know which ones you don't have an association for, or only get ones that you do have an association for, which would be this. Outer joins, I've almost never used outer joins, but and then right joins, I don't know, you would just invert them to be a left join. So usually, but I guess if you wanted to have your primary, I don't know. But yeah, I always just Google this like SQL join Venn diagram whenever I'm like outside of my normal wanting of a thing.
VENN?
Yeah, Venn diagram. These are Venn diagrams. So, but yeah,
That's helpful.
I used to have that
Oh,
printed off and just sitting on my wall so that I could look at it whenever I needed. But I still need to start a SaaS product, man, or some sort of product, something, so I can not be what I'm doing. That's why I like that interview you had, because that, like, he's really doing that stuff too, like you. It's pretty cool.
did you watch the functional programmers react to?
No, I started and then I watched the other one.
Yeah, that one took off the very first day. It had like 400 views like the first day,
Yeah, I wonder why.
and then it just stopped.
Tanked. Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe the people who were you pulled in from the F sharp guy, like, oh, they did another one on functional programming, and then, yeah, okay, that's it. So you have the same usage statistics. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. You have any ideas for what we should record this weekend?
You and Odie.
Yeah.
Oh, what should you record? You need to get your Google juice up, so do something on AI.
I will
It's all
not.
the rage. How well can AI write functional programming?
I'm so sick and tired of AI. I don't want to
In the
be
world, man.
another. I mean, it is. I just don't want to hop on that bandwagon. Metaverse is dead, dude.
Yeah.
You know how much money they sank into that project?
Yep.
Was
Lots of money.
easily more than $30 billion.
Yeah. Well, they were paying people ridiculous amounts of money to work on it too. Just ridiculous. Like if you heard some of the middle managers were making like $1 million, it's like for software.
Well,
Like,
John
come on.
Carmack was like this. He wasn't the CTO, but he was. I don't
Of
know what his role was.
Oculus. Yeah.
No, no,
Well,
for.
when it merged into,
Oh,
well,
okay.
after it merged in, but it was that division of it, and Oculus is kind of the foundation for Meta, right? But I think that they were taking a bigger gamble on more remote stuff happening, and then like the COVID ended, and it's like, oh, well, I can't sell this no more. But they also made like it was total crap, from what I understand, in
Or
terms of
the performance
I don't know,
of the
no,
avatars.
just the look and feel of it should be better, I guess. But
HoloLens didn't take off either.
you haven't heard an update from that from forever. I think it's still around though.
Yeah, it's just not a consumer. It's not consumer based. I don't think.
Yeah, isn't it like a more of a business facing thing?
I think so.
Yeah, well, people
Sure,
trying to do
man.
bold stuff. I don't know.
I gotta start working, man. It's starting to affect my. I feel like I'm getting a mood disorder. Of since I wrote the IRS a check, I gotta get back to work, and it's not happening as fast as I would like.
Yeah, you might have to take a something you don't want to do.
What, be a greeter at Walmart?
No,
What?
just take
I'm
less
gonna be a Walmart greeter.
less money. Have you thought about doing WPF projects? Back doing that?
I'm open to doing anything, and I've accepted that I'm going to take a huge pay cut. Did I tell you how much money I made last year?
No, I
Oh
wouldn't
my
ask
God.
either, but
Oh, I'll type it in the private chat.
you could tell it. Yeah, is it bad or good?
The, it was good until I had to pay taxes.
Oh, geez.
It was it was approximately, hold up.
Is this gross or like
It was gross.
receipts? Okay, so this would be your like if you were in a normal job, it would be like, wow, dude, that's great. Yeah, that's like a 100 more than what I would make. So
I remember like playing Call of Duty on conference calls, and they're like, "Scott, what do you think?" I'm like, "What, Billy? Give me 1 second. I was multitasking. Can you repeat the question?" As I'm playing Call of Duty, like every morning on conference calls, like, but yeah, man. So I had to pay taxes on that, and which put me in a situation where now, like, I need to hurry up and get something, and I already accepted I have to humble myself and probably accept less than half, right?
yeah,
So,
well, I mean, if you can get a bill at $100 an hour, that's pretty good still. I mean,
yeah.
that's 200 somewhat. It's like 50. I always put it because $50 an hour is basically 100K a year, right? And I've seen bills for $100 a year.
And you know what's
So
crazy
or
is
an hour
like
rather.
I put money away. My investments got wiped out, which is why like it's a high priority for me to start working again. It's like I invested. I had I mean, it could have been more diversified, but I had a spread of like probably 12 to like maybe 15 stocks, right? And then I had like maybe three crypto investments. They all got wiped out.
Should have just put
Crypto
in a
is kind of
Vanguard.
expected. Crypto is kind of expected, right?
Yeah.
But like I had a reasonably diversified like portfolio in
Of
Nasdaq
blue
and Dow
chips?
Jones, and
Okay.
it
Yeah.
got wiped out.
Huh. Dang.
Coinbase was the worst.
Yeah. Well, that was a risk, I suppose.
Stripe was second worst.
You
I got
should have
wiped
put it
out on
into like.
Coinbase. I got wiped out on Stripe, Airbnb. That
Well, everything
got
peaked out about
destroyed.
was it like a year ago or so? Everything peaked out. Like all that crap
I think
peaked out.
I had JP Morgan. I think that went down like 20%. Like everything. When I say that, I took the mad money I was making and I was investing it. That investment was pretty much all throwaway, man.
Oof.
Like,
Did you put anything into like big dividend yielding stocks at all? Those are the
nah.
ones that I've had the best performance on. This one Southern that I have, like I bought into that. I think just 20 shares or something. It's gone up like 100 from there, but I get like a dividend every few months, which is nice. But I don't know.
What is the U.S. Did they make a decision on increasing the ceiling of the debt?
I don't
At
think
what
they have yet.
number? At what number are they going to say, or will the World Bank or whoever says, no, you keep increasing the ceiling. We no longer have faith that you could pay this debt. Like, what's that number? Because I think we're approaching 34 trillion right now, right? U.S.
Yeah, it's
deficit.
getting pretty. It's getting pretty crazy.
How are we going to cash that out of Ukraine when all that's over?
We're
Or
not. People will cash it out, but we're flipping the bill. The actually Rand Paul did a really good talk about how like if you want to give $80 billion to Ukraine, have people vote on raising their taxes to pay for it. Because if it's actually the will of the people to do that, they'll be gladly raise their own taxes to pay for it. Which is the same thing that happens in local government, right? You like because they had school, they had schools. It goes on the thing. Everyone votes for it. I don't like that they passed this thing to pay for this big giant like performing arts center, but the majority of people in the community wanted it, even if I didn't, and so they were willing to raise their taxes to pay for it.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between national security and paying for a library or a school.
But
national security you can't opt out of.
Well, yeah, but
national security, quote unquote.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is it actually security or not? Is the question, or is it something else?
Well, I would argue that if the United States is de facto leader of NATO, that's part of national security, based on the motivation for NATO in the first place.
Yeah, well, like, what would have happened if if Ukraine just fell to Russia? I'm not saying that it'd be great if that happened. I think this whole thing's bad, but I'm just saying, like, how does it affect us? Now, if they go after Poland, which is a NATO country, that's a different story.
One factor would be, and I mean, I don't know the details, but I thought Ukraine was one of the biggest producers of grain.
Yeah, sure it is.
Well,
so that could be good for us if we start doing more exporting.
Well, if the United States has sanctions on Russia, then no country that the United States partners with is allowed to have any type of commerce with the grain that Ukraine produces now, since it's Russian.
Yeah, so the grain goes to Africa.
That would be one example.
So the grain goes to Africa, and then we feed Europe. That's good for us, right? Net exports. Actually, China doesn't. They need grain bad, I think, because they don't produce enough of their own food. Like we
What
produce
price?
enough of our own food, but the
You hear me?
biggest thing for us is fertilizer. I think we're dependent on other countries for fertilizer because of
I said they
potassium.
have rice.
Well, yeah, but they don't make enough of it. They have to import a lot of food. So, like we have a lot of space to grow crops. They don't have a lot of places to grow crops in China. Like the whole bread belt thing here is the whole like Midwest is basically like huge place for food to be grown. I mean, it's huge. But I don't know, man. Let's start another. What you do is start a different SaaS and make it smaller rather than so complex. And then I'll join you and we'll make bank. It has to be useful. It can't be replaced by generative AI, and it can't be an industry that generative AI will replace. Something that tracks invoices. Plumbers.
I don't know.
Pick up Amazon boxes.
Create a real-time strategy game that's text-based.
That's not gonna make bank though. It needs to be sold to businesses or mass consumers.
You hear about Target?
Yeah. You can't go online without hearing about Target.
I don't understand why these leadership marketers and CEOs think it's an amazing idea to get involved in this.
I don't know. There's obviously a constituency that likes it and they're very vocal. And so they're pandering to it. But I think people are starting to get annoyed with it.
Yeah,
There's like a
enough is
certain
enough.
level. Yeah. And it's really, I think it all comes down to the whole like, the children transgendered thing. Like it's even fine, I think, if it's like, oh, your kid wants to be like a girl or boy. I don't think anybody's even like that. When it comes down to the whole like when they're actually doing like surgeries and stuff like that and convincing people to do it. That's the stuff where you start to get into the people who are maybe they're leftish most of the time, but when it comes to kids, they're very rightish. And they don't like want that, and that's what some of this stuff kind of is getting into. Like if you leave kids out of the equation, nobody's going to care. Nobody would have cared about any of it.
I would care. Stop pushing that in my face.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's the thing. Yeah, is people don't want to hear about it all the time, and it's gone beyond like,
I'm
you
so
know,
sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of filling out applications where they want to know my pronoun and they want to know my sexual orientation. What does that have to do with me applying for this job? Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand. I don't care if I get canceled.
because there's
Like, I don't care. Like,
it's not
I
about you.
don't.
It's because there's people who get really really mad and take it to them if they don't do that stuff. They're
It's
hedging is what they're doing.
where I choose to put my penis has no place on LinkedIn, has no place on professional employment. It doesn't. Yet it's
Unless you're a stripper.
celebrated. Huh?
Unless you're a stripper.
Like
Then where you put your
like
penis pictures.
it's I practice bestiality. I want to be included. Like that doesn't make sense. Like that's an extreme example, but how you choose to have sex should not be embraced in work culture. It shouldn't. And I can't believe that it is.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about inclusivity. No, it's about how someone chooses to have sex and forcing everybody to celebrate where they choose to put their penis or their vagina. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the world we're living. But like I said, there's a
Let me
limit to
broadcast
that.
that I let me broadcast my preferences for how I would like surf porn and broadcast that all over LinkedIn. Would they celebrate me? No. and I don't really see the difference between sexual preference and broadcasting what gets you off, and posting your sexual orientation on LinkedIn and telling everybody to celebrate the way you have sex. Like, I don't get it. I don't. I'll get off the topic, but I don't understand. I feel like it's a double standard.
There you go. It's time for you to get somebody on that can help you understand on tech
Super
consumption.
Bowl halftime show once again taking a whole bunch of black males and sexualizing them and giving them fishnet tops. Like, I'm so over this right now. They they feminize and sexualize with feminization the black male and sprinkle that all over the NFL halftime shows. Like, to they don't want us to be dominant. They don't want us to be strong, man. They just want us to be sweet. I'm over it. I'm done venting.
It's all part of the plan to make it so that nobody has children anymore, and that
No,
causes
it's
the
part of the plan
economic
that black
collapse.
and brown people don't have children anymore, so that white people can maintain their majority voting and power. Honestly, that's what it's about. If you can't uh, if you can't sterilize poor black folks, poor black and brown folks, like North Carolina was doing decades ago, and now you can't do that. Well, how else do you dilute the black and brown vote so that white votes are the majority and they stay in power?
No,
You
I
make
don't.
it
I don't.
cool for them not to reproduce. You promote
No,
homosexuality.
that's among white people too, though. I don't think that's because I see it in in the white communities too. It's the same thing. It's if you want to get into conspiracies around it, it's basically the idea is that for climate change they want to reduce the actual and for sustainability they want to reduce the number of people in the world rather than increase the number of people in the world, because there's this assumption that we're going to overtax the earth, and so people think that they're trying to save the world by reducing the number of mouths to feed. And so it's all about you know it's all about population reduction. But then that creates
Looking,
economic collapse because you're expected to have more people in future generations based on the way that we use things and that our things are. So then after you have population collapse, then you have economic unrest, and then you have a chance for some new economic systems to come in.
the overall number of
So
reported STDs has been on the rise since 2014 and shows no sign of slowing, with infections disproportionately affecting young people under the age of 25, racial and ethnic minority groups, and gay or bisexual men. Uh, Gonorrhea has increased 45%, syphilis has increased 52%. I'm trying to find black and brown people, and I'm trying to find what ethnicity has the largest increase in STDs. I think the majority of people don't believe that there's like a guiding hand to this.
yeah, I don't know that there is. I'm saying if you want to get into conspiracies about it, that's the way it is. But there are definitely policies and people who are pushing policies that move that way, and it's right in line with that type of agenda if you believe that happens. So, but I don't know, man. It's all over the place. I just want to create a SaaS product
I
and
bet you they don't
make
have to
some
deal with
money and
this in
retire.
Syria or Iran. I'm gonna move to a Syrian or to an Islamic state. I don't have to deal with all this being pushed in my face.
Yeah, please don't move to Iran or Syria. If you're gonna move, go to the Arab
Somalia.
Emirates. Go to the Arab Emirates. You need to build a big business and then sell it and then move to the UAE and live. You can basically have like
I'm
a
gonna make a living
cheetah as a
being
pet
a.
and drive
I'm gonna make a
around.
living. I'm gonna make a
Go
living
ahead.
being a porta potty in Dubai. You know about porta potties in Dubai?
Oh, don't they have like? Aren't they like really ritzy or something?
Look, when we get off, Google porta potties in Dubai.
Okay.
You're like, oh, you'll see.
All right.
It, it'll show. You'll see page after page on YouTube. It doesn't. You'll figure out what I mean.
Hmm.
On that note, is there anything else we should discuss? I just got a text message of a Beach Mobile flyer.
Oh, cool. Go chase that, man.
Yeah, I occasionally get phone calls through from the Beach Mobile site, the customer support number, and people like, hey, can I get something delivered? It happens like maybe twice a week.
Hey, that means you're getting like it's working. Now get on actually delivering shit.
I hear you. I'm depressed right now. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. Oh yeah, because selling $70 uh subscriptions or $70 membership fees, so like up to 8 times you can get like a pop-up tent, which means that your Saturdays and Sundays throughout the month is covered.
Mm-hmm.
And so you might say, or everybody might say, $70. That's like maybe 3 rentals, and you're giving away 8. And I'm like, yeah. If the thought process is if you can get more people to pay up front, then at least we can forecast what we're going to do with that money. Hopefully, when people pay up front for a fee that is like a no-brainer, then hopefully that will spread or accelerate adoption through word of mouth. And then we just figure out how to make money off of them outside of the $70, such as the care package, right? I think I told you about the care package. You put in the
Mm-hmm.
care package that's tamper proof with a whole bunch of stuff in it, just like a hotel fridge, and then whatever
Mm-hmm.
they take out, you bill them for that. And that's how you try to uh, be profitable. So
That
and
makes sense.
that's for the locals plan. The tourist plan is, well, very rarely is someone in Miami flying in for one day. So how do you sell them a beach accommodation for the 2, 3, 4 nights that they're here or days that they're here? So, but if I don't have money, then everything gets slowed down. I can't send out these orders to Alibaba so that I could get these custom branded pop-up tents and canopies that are going to serve as vending machine like accommodations. So people pull out their phone, scan it, and then they just move into it. Like I'm stuck, dude. I want this day to be over so that I can finally accept that I wasn't accepted and I'm not going to get funding. And then you and I can work on our beach application or our chess application in React.
Ugh. Man, I have no interest in coding right now. Well, I do, but not. I don't know. I gotta come up with something.
If you go to chess.com, that's what I paid for a subscription.
Hmm.
So I have nothing else.
Sounds good. Well, I guess another week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go out to breakfast and go to the SeaWorld knockoff and throw things at the whale. That's it.
What are you getting for breakfast? Have a salad, man. It's
I have this fetish for liver.
liver.
Yeah, so I
Hmm.
go to like Little Havana most of the time. I either go to Little Havana or I go to Overtown, which is like the hood, and I get like liver. If I'm in the hood, I get grits and liver.
Hmm.
If I'm in Little Havana, I get liver, black beans, and rice.
Oh, interesting.
I like
Yeah, I
liver.
know. Like people like when animals and humans would eat liver, and they'd eat all the organ meat first, right? Because it's the actual
Well, yeah,
most nutrient dense.
killer whales are known for flipping great whites upside down, drowning them, and then eating their liver and then swimming off.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
yeah. Yeah, because it's the most nutrient dense part of the. Of
Yeah, but the
like
thing
whatever.
is for humans, I'm not sure for other animals, you can get
Iron poisoning or something like that, isn't it?
well, there's a toxicity I think with vitamin A
Oh,
toxicity or something
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah. 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 Too much vitamin A is bad for you. Yeah, for sure. Which is why we're expected to probably get like a liver every hunt, right? And then it's a limited resource, so people get very little of it really in packs of people,
Well,
which is probably what we,
I think the recommendation is either once a week.
which was consistent with killing an animal and eating its multivitamin liver. Like you're gonna go out for a hunt, not, you know, depends on the size, plus the size of your tribe and how much food you get and all that. But then you've got the meat that you eat, but meat's not so much nutrition; it just provides protein. But yeah,
On that note, I'll catch up with you next Friday.
yep. All right,
All right,
have
see
a
you.
good one.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, whoever's viewing, take care. Bye.